Hey, welcome everyone to the Architect Marketing Institute live stream training event on 300% more referrals. My name is Eric Bobrow. I'm co-founder of AMI, along with my esteemed partner, Richard Petrie, also founder. How are you doing, Richard?
Doing well. Thanks, Eric. Good to have you guys join us. Thanks for joining us today. We're looking forward to giving you some strategies to get more referrals.
Okay, so we are going live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Please comment on whatever platform you're on to let us know that you're here. Tell us where you're calling in from. And maybe if you have a specific question or some idea about referrals, the challenge of doing it or things that you found are successful, you can type that in as well. If you're, let me just put on this banner here. And if you're on Facebook, then do go to, let's see here. If you're watching on Facebook, go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, and that will allow us in our recording studio here, broadcast studio, to see your name come through. Otherwise, we don't see that. So, all right. So, Richard, I'll let you take it away. I'm going to be monitoring the comments.
Okay. Thanks, Sarah.
I do see Stephen Pollock is in, and someone from Jefferson from LA, Ross Can from Rhode Island. All right, we are underway on LinkedIn and Facebook for sure.
Umberto, Sienna. All right. Oh, we've got some members from our 6 group. So just to give a high level thing for those who don't know us or haven't, we run the Architect Marketing Institute, and we train architects on basically winning better projects. That's our overall mission, help them win better projects and higher fees. And we've got a number of people here who are in our in one of the programs, which is good to see them. So hey, Ross, Umberto, Sienna. So all right, let's get into it. Okay, the objective is referrals. And why referrals? Why would we focus on referrals? Interestingly enough, now this topic on referrals is, you guys have turned up to a training which I think is far more valuable than many of the other topics that we cover. And I think they're all valuable, but some are more valuable than others. And getting referrals is massively important. So, hats off to you guys for turning up to this one, because last week we did handling fee objections, right? Which is a hot topic. We had a lot of people here. But when you compare fee objections, if I could get some scripts to handle fee objections, 20% better or 50% better, that's good. But if I could double my referrals or triple my referrals, that's a lot better, right? There's so much leverage in getting referrals. So this is a really important topic. I'm going to cover 2 strategies. I'm going to give you 2 sort of scripts for 2 strategies for getting referrals. And if you deploy them, you'll do well. All right. Now, John Napier from London. Good. John's a client as well. He's a member as well. All right. Let's get into it. Share screen. Okay. I've got a bit of a mind map. I like mind maps. Right. Now, first question I've got for you. In fact, no, before I start that is, why is referrals so important? Right. And there should be another one here actually. And that is, why is referrals so important? So I want you to type into the chat window, what percentage of your business comes from referrals at the moment? Okay. Referrals or word of mouth, same thing. What percentage of your business comes from referrals or word of mouth? And I know there's a bit of a delay, but what percentage of your business comes from referrals or word of mouth? And I think you'll be interested. Right. Facebook user, we don't get a name sometimes, but some of the Facebook users says 90%. Okay. Paul says 90%. Another Facebook user says 90%. Richard Alexander, 100%. Umberto says 50%. Anthony says, another 6 member, says, where's it gone? 100% for Anthony. Emma says 100%. Jim says 100%. Deborah says 90%. Now, it's phenomenal, isn't it? Now, this is good and bad, right? Deborah says 90. Another Facebook user says 80. Heather says 20. Okay, interesting. You're a bit of an outlier, Heather. Sarag says 90. Interesting. Where does yours come from, Heather? If it's not from referrals, you must do a lot of marketing. Now, my point is, when it comes to winning new clients, or new projects, the irony is that referrals is your number one marketing strategy as of now, which is good. The problem for most of you is, yeah, it's good, but I'm still not earning the income I want to be earning, and I'm not winning the projects I want to be winning, which is why I'm on this webinar. So, okay, cool. That's interesting as well. So how good are you as an architect? Well, I'm 7 out of 10 as an architect in terms of my abilities. How good are your projects? Well, a lot of people say 4, 5, right? Given I'm a 7 out of 10 architect, I think they're below what I could be doing. And what about your income? Where's your income? 4, 5, a lot of people are. Okay, well, if you're a 7 out of 10 architect, shouldn't you be getting 7 out of 10 fees? Yes, I should be, and 7 out of 10 projects at least. Okay. Now, so we know referrals works. My strategy is, and when we're, all these, anyone that comes into our 6 maps program, the first thing I say is put in place referral strategies, because if you can double or triple or quadruple your referrals, which seems to be about 90% of your projects, if you could triple that, then you wouldn't need to do any other form of marketing, right? That's all you'd need to do. You'd have more clients calling you than you could actually handle. You could probably handle 50% more business, right? But you couldn't handle 300% more business. So now you've got twice as many people calling out wanting to work with you than you could handle, and they're all referrals, right? So you would have to either do one or two things. You would have to either form a waiting list, or you would have to start saying no to half the projects which aren't a good fit for you, right? And maybe a combination of the two would be the best, right? So most people don't think of referrals as marketing, but it becomes marketing when you have referral systems, right? When you're just passively answering the phone and, oh, good news, another referral came through. No, that's not marketing. But when you're putting in place referral systems, that is marketing. And so of all the things you could do in marketing, the smartest thing, I think, the 80-20, the Pareto principle of marketing, if you're an architect, is referral systems, right? And I'm going to give you 2 today. So that said, right? So why referrals? It's the best. Now, why is it the best? Why are referrals so much better than anything else? I'll tell you a quick story. Imagine you're at a family picnic and you've got a really bad back. And one of the other family members at the picnic is Uncle Ted. And you see Uncle Ted, and Uncle Ted seems to be holding his back as well. And he goes, you go, what's wrong? What's wrong, Uncle Ted? He said, I've got a bad back. And you go, I've got a bad back too. And you both enter a little 5-minute competition as to who's got the worst bad back. And anyway, the kids go out and start playing football on the grass, and neither you nor Uncle Ted can go and play because of your bad backs. Anyway, as it happens, there's also another family picnic the following weekend, and you both turn up, except this time you've still got a bad back, but Uncle Ted doesn't. Uncle Ted runs in and says, hey, how's it going? You want to play some football? And you go, no, I've still got a bad back. So Uncle Ted goes out and plays football, and Uncle Ted comes off. What's the first question you ask Uncle Ted? Uncle Ted, what's happened to you? I thought you had a bad back. And Uncle Ted says, yeah, I don't anymore. And you go, what did you do? What happened? He said, well, I went and saw this guy. He was an acupuncturist, and he went boom, boom, boom with his needles, and I'm fine. He said, within a couple of days, it was unbelievable. I'm standing upright for the first time, and it's, playing football, no problem at all, right? And so, what's your next question, right? The next thing you're going to say is, what's his number, right? And you're going to call the acupuncturist, and you're going to ask to book a meeting with the acupuncturist. Now, how much selling does the acupuncturist need to do to get you in there? None, right? Are you going to ask the acupuncturist for a discount? No, because the value of the result is so high to you that whatever he charges is probably going to be okay, right? And how long is it going to take? Is he going to have to convince you? There's no selling required, right? It's done. That's why referrals are so good, right? Now, we know they close faster. We know they're more, referrals are more believable to people than you doing marketing. But the question is, right, now this is the sticky thing, why don't you get more referrals? And this is the thing I get all the time. Do you get enough referrals? No, I don't. Why? Do you do a good job? Yes, I do. Are your clients happy? Yes, they are. I just don't know why they don't refer me more. Okay, so let's have a quick look at some of the reasons that people don't refer you more. I don't want to give away all the, I'd like to hold something back and make a little bit of intrigue. Right. Number one, maybe they're not happy. Maybe they're not happy with the work or the relationship. But in my experience, that's usually not, it's potentially the case, but it's not very often. It's these other ones. All right. Lack of a prompt. Now, what's that? Well, lack of a prompt is, and this is what advertisers try and set up. They try and set up prompts in your pre-existing environment so that you think about their product or the need for their product. A prompt would be, well, there's a Kit Kat. I don't know if you guys have Kit Kats in the US, but I know the UK and the other guys do. But there's an ad on TV that goes, have a break, have a Kit Kat. And they pump that slogan for like 30 years, have a break. So what they're trying to do is create an association between every time you have a break at work that you should be having a Kit Kat, right? And it's quite effective, have a break, have a Kit Kat. And so they've linked Kit Kats to breaks because people will put them in their lunchbox, right? So they've made a connection between something. Now, if you don't have a reason for someone to talk about you, then there's no one's talking about you. Right now, a prompt is a situation that triggers an opportunity for them to have a referral, because the truth is most of the time they're not thinking about you. Right now, I guess if we're talking construction here, there probably would be a lot of prompts because they're going to talk about their house or their office that they're building. But it's something worth considering. Right. The next reason people don't refer, unclear expectations. Right? What specific actions or behaviors would qualify as a referral for you? They don't really know. They don't know what sort of projects you're looking for. Right? They don't know how to qualify someone who'd be good for you. And so if I'm not sure, and bear in mind, I'm busy, right? So that may be a reason. Fear of rejection. I don't want to refer someone and then it comes back on me and says, hey, you referred so-and-so. And that's another reason they might not. Another reason might be lack of perceived value. What's in it for me if I refer this person, right? Not much, right? There's no benefit. Okay. So we need to keep that in mind, and maybe false beliefs, and I remember with my accountant, someone asked me, why don't you refer your accountant? And I go, well, I never really thought of it, right? The lack of a prompt. There's no reason for me to talk about my accountant and particularly say, you should use my accountant. There was no reason for that. Nothing ever came up. So, but, you often think someone is too busy or that you're not their type, this person who should be introduced. So I firmly believe that for let's say every one referral that ends up coming to you, there's another 9 that could have come to you if that person was armed properly, right? So we want to, if that so those are some reasons why people don't refer. Okay. Now, just quickly, and I'm going to give you these referral strategies I'm going to give you don't take long to give you, and they're pretty simple. They're just scripts. And in fact, if you type in PDF now, Eric will send them to you. And I'll go through them in a minute as well. They're worth going through, but I just want to sort of motivate you to use them because you can get the PDF and you go, oh yeah, that's great. But and then do nothing for it. I want to motivate you enough to want to use them, because the execution of the two strategies I'm going to give you is very simple. The key is that you do it. Okay, let's have a quick look at the math. I talk about a thing called a referral rate. What's the referral rate? Right now, if something is a one, there's a one missing here, but if something's a 1-to-1 referral rate, what that means is if I've got a client, then that client refers a client, and that client refers a client, and that client, and it goes on forever. So if I had 3 clients now, and they all referred one person, and then that would be, they would replace themselves with another, I could go on forever, and it's okay. I'd always have 3 clients. That would be a 1-to-1 referral rate. The problem with referrals, one problem, there's not many problems with referrals, is that people tend to only refer across and down. And what that means is, if I work for a bank and I have had you design my house, I'm unlikely to refer you to my boss or my boss's boss, because they're above me and it might be too risky, right? But I'll refer you to a colleague or someone below me, right? So we tend to refer across or down, in terms of social structure, right? I'm not going to refer you to the billionaire down the road because I don't feel comfortable referring the billionaire to anyone, right? But the guy that works for me, the guy who's doing my lawns, who wants to do his house, I don't mind referring him. So yeah, people refer across and down. Now that would be 1-to-1, and 1-to-1's okay, but it's not going to make a booming career. If you had 2 referrals to every client that came on board, and when you think about it, shouldn't that be reasonable, that for every project you do, the amount of people they talk to and the amount of people that ask them questions about the project, that 2 projects would come from it? Well, it seems it's not reasonable, because very few people get 2 referrals per, but then they don't have referral systems in place, right? But the math would look like this, right? It's ridiculous. So if you had three clients, and then they referred 2 people, and then those people referred 2 people, and then it starts getting, it grows exponentially, right? So all you need to actually have a ridiculous business that gets out of control and that you can't even handle would be 2 referrals per project, right? It's not a bad goal. And when you think about it, it's what should be happening. Okay. Right. Okay. How? Right. There are 16 different referral strategies that I teach our members, and I'm going to give you a couple now. So let's get into it. Stop screen share. Cool. You'll want the... now I'm going to take you through the scripts. Here we are here. All right. Okay. Right. Like I say, there's 16 things I teach. If you ever become a client, we'll go through all of these, and these are all referral systems, right? You put a number of them in place, and well, here's 2. Now, this is a very simple one. I'm giving you 2 very simple ones today. All right. And it's simple as this, right? Have a think about this. When you're looking to sell something to someone, would you like the normal price or the referral price? Or it might be written on your document. Would you like the normal price or the referral price? Now, the first thing someone's going to say is, oh, what's the referral price? And you'll go, it forces you to talk about referrals. You go, oh, right. Have I not explained that? Sorry about that. The way we do it is, look, we used to spend a lot of time marketing and advertising, got quite expensive, a bit painful. I'm not very good on social media. So we thought, look, we were getting a lot of referrals in our business, and we're better off just to, reward the people who, we were getting them anyway. So we thought, if we just reward the people who are referring us, it's a better way to go. So if you would like to, go ahead with this project and refer us, then, I can do that. right? Now, there is a catch here, I suppose, and that is I wouldn't be doing this for design. I wouldn't be giving like 10% off my design fees because that's a big fee. For those of you, most of you who are who have been following us for any length of time would be familiar with a term called the LCC. Now, the LCC is, I'm big on getting you guys to be paid for pre-design research. So instead of working for free, doing free site visits, giving away advice, giving design ideas, giving sketches, I've got a process called the LCC where we get you to charge for that, right? We package that up and you charge for it, right? Very successful. And that is an area where I would probably use this referral pricing because it's not as, you might charge $2,000 or $3,000 for this service. I wouldn't probably be doing it for a big item, although you could for design, but I wouldn't be giving as much. Okay. By the way, for those of you, just if you're not, in fact, can you just type in the chat window there? Can you type in LCC if you do paid pre-design research, and then just go not LCC if you don't get paid for pre-design research. So just LCC if you do, and not LCC if this is a foreign concept to you. Richard Alexander says, oh no. Yeah, good. I'll come to that in a second, Ross. That's a good question. Okay, Rebecca and Whitney, good. You guys are doing LCC. Facebook user, sometimes, says Facebook user. Okay, Richard Alexander, not LCC. Okay, Umberto LCC because he's in our program. Stephen Pollock LCC. Ross says 95% of the time. Deborah says sometimes. Good. Okay. I'm presuming when I used to ask this question, not LCC, says Emma. Okay. Okay. I think a lot of you, if you're not members of our program, I was not LCC before joining AMI, says Anthony. Yep. Cool. And I think a lot of people have been to, we've run a lot of webinars talking about it. So a lot of people picked up the idea, but okay. Right. Now, a few tips. Raise your price, on your LCC by 10%, and then you just, referral price is 10% less than. As an example, you might give them a 10% discount, or you might even give them more. You might give them 20% discount on the LCC if they refer someone, and the client can choose. If they don't want to give you any referrals, no problem. They can pay the higher amount, right? Now, what happens? What happens if they take the referral price, but they don't end up referring, right? Don't worry about it. Right. You keep them on, well, the key points, raise your fees to cover your discount, keep them obligated until it's delivered. But if they don't deliver, don't make it weird or, you can ask them, hey, have you got any referrals and things like that? But I wouldn't be sending them an invoice for the extra. I'd just be cool about it and go, they intended to. I'd definitely prompt them a couple of times, just keep the obligation live, but I'm not going to get weird about it. Okay. So that's the first one. Do you want the normal price or the referral price? Is that something you could squeeze into your, it's such a referral system because it's just a few words, right? So hopefully that's something you could use. And I guarantee if you do that, you'll get a number of referrals. Okay. What's happening here to the screen, Eric? Have you done something funny, or are we just getting, I'm seeing my face. I don't really want to see my face. I want to see just the screen. Yeah, that's better. Was that me doing that or you, Eric? Don't know. Okay. Second strategy. This is a good one too. Right, here we go. Okay, second one is just asking, but I'm going to get you asked in a specific way, right? And most of you, like if you just asked even badly, you would pick up more referrals than you do now. The only problem with asking is you can feel a little bit uncomfortable. So it's nice to have a script. Okay. So I'm going to give you one, and I'm going to give you a really good one, actually. In fact, I'm just going to jump back to the mind map because I just want to take you through something first. Okay. Ask. Okay. Right. Okay. Context. Right. What you don't want is you don't want to be desperate, needy, or get bad referrals. Right. Because sometimes a bad referral is worse than getting no referral at all. You don't want to come across desperate and needy. Right. And I know you feel uncomfortable probably a lot of the time about asking for referrals. You shouldn't, but I know you do. Right. In fact, let me do one for you. I'm going to ask you guys, just so you can see what it's like to be on the receiving end of someone asking for a referral. It's not that big a deal, but everybody on this webinar, we would really appreciate if you let's say, one or two other architects know about these. We're doing these live streams weekly. And if you've got a friend who you're not in competition with, and who you would like to, give them some free weekly education, can you let them know about these trainings? All right. Right. That was me asking, how did it feel? Right. Do you feel weird? Not really. Did it feel okay? Well, hopefully it felt okay. It's just me asking you to refer someone. It's no big deal. So it's not really that much of a big deal when you ask either. Right. So please just ask more. Okay. Now, right, let's jump back to the, I don't know why I jumped there. That wasn't nearly as impressive as I thought it was going to be, that little slide, but, right. Okay. Asking for referrals. Right. Okay. Let's go. Right. Who should we be asking for referrals for? Now, in this case that I'm going to give you, it's going to be selected past clients, please. And who are pleased, maybe that's what that meant to be. Selected past clients and potentially selected power referrers, someone who can refer you. All right. The right message. We want to be specific about who that we want a referral from. We want to be specific about what type of referral we want, right? We want to be specific about how they should refer. All the specificity, the more specific you get, ironically, the more referrals you get. Because if you just go, can you give us a referral, anyone, no job is too big or too small, no one pops into their head. It's too vague, right? But when you get specific about the who, the what, the how, in a way that is not needy, then you're in business. Right, here's the script. And when you type in PDF, if you haven't, you only need to do it once, but you'll get a copy of this as well. This is a good one. Okay, listen. Now, the first thing I'm going to do in the script here is I'm going to make sure I don't sound needy. Okay, so let's look at the words. Look, and let's say I'm talking to you and your name's Emma. Emma, in 2 months from now, we're going to be in a position to take on a couple of new clients, new projects. We're not looking for anyone or anything. We're specifically looking for someone who, or a project that, A, B, C. We're looking for a sustainable project where someone's got a budget of over $500,000 and they're a good person to work with, right? Something a bit more specific than anyone you know, help me, I'm desperate, right? So notice we're saying now, even if I could take people on now, I'm saying in 2 months from now, we're going to have some, space freed up on our work, on our project, on our boards to take on a couple of new projects. So what it implies is, it's embedded, we're busy. And when people know that you're busy, they imply you must be good. When you also say, hey, we're not looking for anyone, we're specifically looking for someone who boom, 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 or a project that boom, boom, boom. Once again, it's making you look a bit picky. Now, if you can't take anyone on for 2 months and you're being a bit picky, the assumption is you must be good. You must be successful, right? That's the type of brand we want. So there's nothing needy about this request. So that's the first statement. Then you go, look, if someone comes to mind, Emma, over the next couple of months, or next couple of months, would you be happy to connect them with me? Emma's going to go, yeah, sure. No big deal about that. Yeah, of course. Okay, thanks, Emma. Now, okay, so that was the that's the prompt, right? How do I want them to? Okay, well, Emma, here's the best way to connect us. If they're doing this type of project, can you ask them if they'd be open to a chat with me where I'll be able to help them do 1, 2, 3. Now, if you're in our 6 program, which hopefully some of you will be soon, we talk about the LCC and that type of stuff. But you want to let them know that you'll be able to help their friend do something very specific. I'll be able to help them do 1, 2, 3, these 3 things. Right. And if they're happy with that, then they can, if they're happy with that, then can you call or text me on this number with their details and I'll contact them. Right. But please, I only want to talk to people who are happy for me to reach out to them. Right. I don't want to do any cold calling. Okay. So it's not just email me some names of people you know. What I'm saying is you have a chat to them. I'll do this for them. It's pretty useful and valuable. You have a chat to them. If they sound like they're interested and they're happy to have a call from me, then let me know. Okay. That's it. That's the script, right? And then you'll tell them, okay, well, here's how I want you to connect us. Maybe in person if you're in person, or send us both an email. Can you send us both an email? Sorry, actually, we've done that in here. This is asking, right, how can we reach these people? Well, we might say that while we're in person. We might email that to someone. We might send a letter if you're into the old-fashioned ways. It might be part of a pack, or it might be part of a webinar or an event you run. You could use that script in any of those. The most likely one is going to be in person or sending an email, right? So let's just go through it again quickly. In 2 months from now, we're going to be freeing up some space and we'll be in a position to take on a couple of new projects. We're not looking for anyone or any type of project. We're specifically looking for someone who's looking to do, they've got a budget of more than $1 million. They're looking to do something sustainable and they're a good person, right? Something like that, whatever your criteria. If someone comes to mind over the next month or so, would you be happy to connect them with me? You would. Oh, great. Here's the best way to connect us. If they're doing this type of project, can you ask them if they'd be open to a chat with me? And if they are, I'll be able to help them with 1, 2, 3. Right? If they're happy with that, then can you call and text me on this number with their details and I'll reach out to them. Right? But please, I only want to talk to people who have told you they are happy for me to reach out to them. Don't just send me someone who I should contact. I just want them to talk to you first. Cool. That's it. Now I've seen a lot of referral scripts. This is a really good one, and this was developed, with our mastermind group. All right, I'm going to take. So those are 2 strategies. The first one is the referral pricing. The second one is asking, but asking in this format. I'm going to take any questions that anyone has. Stop screen share. If you've got any questions or got any questions about those 2 strategies, then now's a good time to do it. Hopefully they're pretty simple for you and there's something you could be using by this afternoon, right? Well, I think they are. Right. So Rebecca, thank you for your question. How can a person know before you do work with them whether or not they're going to feel comfortable referring you? Yeah, good question. So that's if you're doing the referral pricing. That's why I say it probably works best if you're going to do doing an LCC. If you're not doing an LCC and you don't know what it is, actually, anyone who wants to have a chat with us, just type in chat in the window, and someone will give a call to you. But and they'll give you a run through on training options and things like that for coaching options. Yeah, it works best if you're going to do it on the LCC, but I still think you can do it for design. So how do they know if they're going to refer you? Well, if they've hired you and you're in the pricing section, you've probably spent a reasonable amount of time together. So that's one thing. The second thing is, if they don't want to commit to referring, then they can pay the full price. They've got a choice, right? But they probably know you to a certain degree, and no one's going to hire an architect who they haven't kind of spent a bit of time with. So, yeah, the answer is do it in the LCC, but otherwise still do it. If they have an issue with it, no problem. Does that help, Rebecca? All right. Eric, any comments or thoughts?
I just brought up one from Ross. How many take the referral price but fail to deliver referrals? I think
All right.
You did explain that it's not something that you want to sweat about. You just simply want to, remind them of it. You'll get at least some of them to do referrals who wouldn't have otherwise.
Yep.
Now, one other thing that you didn't mention, Richard, while there is the possibility of, say, there's the referral price, there's also the bonus, the referral bonus. So in other words, like while we do X, if you agree to, consider referrals, then I will throw in such and such. So, I'll throw in, this hand sketch or this, something that might take you some time or some effort, or that is internal to your process, and you're going to share things, and that becomes an incentive. I know Stephen had a comment earlier about in certain jurisdictions and certain types of associations, doing a finder's fee is absolutely unheard of. Even though lawyers might do it, you could never do it as an architect, and so sometimes you can't do that, can't give a cash discount, but you can, of course, even just say, what, if you do give us a referral, I have a really nice book that I would send you, or I have a handwritten card, and one of my personal sketches. There are other things that you can do that just would be not monetary, but would feel like a personal thank you.
So yeah, how many take the referral price but fail to deliver referrals? When I've done it, everybody's given a referral. No, I'm not an architect. I'm selling sort of marketing coaching services, but everybody's always, when they've taken it. And I've even forgotten to ask them. I just put it in there because I teach it. And so I put it on the thing, and then people come back to me and go, oh, I've got that referral come through now. Oh, right. Okay. I wasn't even thinking about it. But, hey, I don't know. I mean, the thing is, if half of them do it, it's a good result, isn't it? Right. Okay. Umberto, how do you find out if clients who were very happy until the contractor got in the middle of everything and behind our back are still happy with the overall experience? How do you find out? Look, if it were me, Umberto, I'd be taking the approach that referrals is my number one marketing strategy, and I want to be systematic about it. Therefore, anyone I've done work with, I'm looking at almost as an potential unpaid, well, they're a referrer, unpaid salesperson, I was going to say. And so I'd be staying in touch with them. And so therefore I'd know, right? So I wouldn't let my past clients get too far away without staying in touch. Maybe they're getting a newsletter. Maybe they get a call every 6 months to see how you're going. Maybe we invite them to some event. Don't look at them as past clients. Look at them as potential referrers. And if you do that, then you'll never lose touch with them. And if you don't lose touch with them, you'll probably keep on their good side, because if there are any issues that the builder's stirred up, you have a chance to overcome that, right? Yeah, type in PDF if you want a copy of the scripts that I've gone through.
There's actually another script that you have that we'll be also sending out. You shared that with me ahead of time.
Yeah,
we haven't seen that on screen. So, all right.
Okay. Here we go, says Stephen Pollock. Not unheard of in terms of giving, not unheard of, illegal. They would fine me for professional misconduct. Yeah, well then, if you can't reward people. The thing with referrals with architects anyway, and it's different for some things, but I don't think the idea of incentives and rewards, the idea of maybe doing a sketch or something, anyway, most people with an architect, if you've got a good relationship, they're not doing it for the incentive or the reward. In fact, often a reward can make them feel uncomfortable if they don't want to refer if there's a reward, because it then makes it look like they've only referred someone to get the reward, and they don't want that feeling, and they don't want their friend to know that they got a reward for referring. They are much happier to just refer you because either it makes them feel good to help you out, or it makes them feel good to help their friend out because they actually rate you quite highly, right? They're not doing it. They're doing it because it'll increase their brownie points with their friend if they know that you will do a good job for them, right? That's usually enough. So we don't, I mean, there are strategies around incentives and rewards, and I go into that, but I think most of you don't need to worry about that. Okay, Sarag, good question. Sarag says, do you think it's possible, oops, maybe I unhooked him, to get competitors to refer you? Well, I'll tell you what, let's put it this way. If you came across a client who was going to be particularly bad and you thought this would be an absolute nightmare, then you might refer to one of your competitors. Because you know what it's like. We actually had Steve was on the call last month, and he said, I reckon a good topic for the call for one of these live streams is how to identify an asshole client before they hire you. Yeah, it probably is competitors, probably not direct competitors, but I have heard a lot of, let's say you're a small firm architect and you do residential, and you have some friends who work for a large firm architecture and they do different types of projects. Someone comes to them and says, do you do residential? And they go, no, we don't, but Sarag does. We recommend go and have a chat with him. That can definitely work. So I'm not going to go into detail this, but one of the big powerful strategies is setting up a referral network. And there's no reason why other architecture firms who don't do the type of work you specialize in can't be on your referral network. Ron says competitors often refer when they have a project type. Yeah, exactly. That's not in their wheelhouse or when they're too busy. Yeah, in which case they're not really competitors if it's not in their wheelhouse. We call them competitors, but they just happen to be other architects. And you did right. The other one is when they're too busy and they need someone to refer to because they haven't got time to do it. Good point, Ron. All right. Umberto wants the PDF as well. I mean, not Umberto, Gabriella. I can see that getting translated into Italian. There you go. Now, Gabriella is our good friend, and he does a lot of great work. We work with him, and he works with architects in Italy, and does great stuff for them. So, all right, okay, guys. Type in chat. Look, just a quick overview on what we do. We work with architects to help them win better projects. If you're on this call today, it may be. There's a strong hint that it may be because you want more referrals, because you want more projects, and you want to be in a position where you can pick and choose the projects. Well, I've given you two strategies today. We have a whole system for that. So if you're uncomfortable or unhappy with the the projects you're winning, or you think that the fees you're generating are not where they should be given the value of the service that you're providing, and you're open to getting some help from me and Eric, we have a 9-step program we run, and we take people through. We've got a number of people on the program who are actually in that program turned up today to this. They could have actually gone into the training, because these 2 strategies are actually in the 6th training, along with 14 other referral strategies. But there's nothing like a live event, is there? So that's good. So type in chat if you want to have a chat to us. It's just an initial chat where someone will find out about you, give you the rundown on some of the options, and schedule a deeper call if that's appropriate. Now, what's Stephen Pollock got here? My association's paranoia is that they think the money would come from a future client without delivering service. My association's paranoia is that they think the money would come from a future client without delivering service. They did. No, I don't quite understand that, but they did, however, make a good suggestion in terms of refunding the LCC fee at the end of a successful project to bring it back to the topic of keeping in touch with them. Hosting events and a nice dinner would be a good no-risk way to carry favor of past clients. Okay, 2 different things here. Refunding the LCC fee as a reward for the referral. Yeah, I'd say no. I don't like that idea. My association, you mean your architects association paranoia is they think the money would come from a future client without delivering the services. Can you just rewrite that? Because I don't quite understand it, Stephen. Sorry. Cool. Paul McCoffrin. What's the chat? That's great. Someone will get hold of you. Thank you. Dialing in from Belfast, Northern Ireland. Yeah, we know where Belfast is. Yeah, great. Look forward to chatting to you, Paul. Richard Alexander, need to jump off get the kids to school. He's in Australia. Can I watch this after? Yeah, there will be a replay. We do offer a recording of this. It lasts for 7 days, and then we take it off. So you can catch up with that. Good luck with the kids, getting kids to school. It looks like you're going to have a chat as well. Good on you. Thanks, Richard. We'll look forward to chatting to you. Sue will give you a rundown on some of the options we have. All right, guys, that's a wrap. Thank you, Eric. Any final thoughts from you?
No, I was interested to see what you were going to share out of our full set of materials for the referral stuff. And I know you saved, one of the key ones for our, private clients there. So I want to encourage all of you to keep coming to these live streams, and to, when you feel ready to take the next step in your business, tell us that you'd like to have a chat, and, no obligation, just see how our programs could work for you. We've had a lot of fun, a lot of success helping many of you on this call, as well as, hundreds of others over the last 10 years. I always enjoy sharing these things with architects around the world. And, I'm excited that we found this live stream method, an easy way for us to get in front of you and give you some goodies each week. So thanks for joining us today. Thanks, Richard, for, another great presentation.
Cool. Just before we go, we've got a clarification from Stephen. If they get a financial reward with the timing is before services are delivered to the other person, the prospect, right. The other thing was that once a project is successfully done, the money is earned and I can do what I want with it.
Yeah, we'll take them out to dinner. For sure.
Yeah, well, the first option I gave, which is where you're giving a discount, you're just giving a discount for the referral, so you're not really charging anyone. But I get the point. Associations, I think it's fine. But
all of our strategy have to be adapted to your particular context. You may, find some more relevant and useful than others. But clearly, Richard, your point is that if referrals are some of your best ways to win projects, putting in some effort to solicit referrals, however you do it, and letting your clients as well as others know that you appreciate referrals can go a long way. Because if you just wait passively, hoping that people will give you referrals, you'll get some here and there, but you won't get as many as if you ask. So
yeah. And at the end of the day, you want to put yourself in a position where you've got more people coming to you than you can handle, because then you can charge higher prices, fees, and you can form a waiting list, or you can say no. And I know that from my experience, half the people who contact you have projects that you should be saying no to. So you need enough opportunities coming your way that you're in that position to be pick and choosy. You need to be choosy. All right. And that then puts you on Sunshine Island, which is where better projects, better fees. So we need more projects than we can handle. So you can be picky, you can put your fees up, and you don't have to worry about it. Okay. So that's why you don't want to just sit back. All right. Thanks, everybody. Entertaining session. We'll be running another one next week. I'm not 100. I can't remember what it's on, but we'll see you then if you can make it. Thanks, guys. And feel free to refer our live streams to your friends. There you go. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.